In 1927, the Cold Creek Asylum shut its doors after a series of mysterious deaths. Stories whispered among the locals told of patients who would vanish overnight, their screams echoing through the halls one last time before silence fell. The building was abandoned, left to crumble into the overgrowth of the surrounding woods. Decades later, a group of urban explorers decided to break in, eager to capture proof of the paranormal activity said to linger there. Armed with flashlights, cameras, and bravado, they ventured into the decaying asylum. The air inside was heavy, smelling of mildew and despair. Rusted gurneys littered the hallways, and faded patient records were scattered across the floor. Graffiti covered the walls, but one phrase appeared repeatedly, scratched deep into the paint. "Stay out of Ward 13. Ignoring the warning, the group pushed on, eventually finding a heavy iron door with 13 barely visible beneath layers of grime. When they forced it open, the stench of decay hit them like a wave. The room was empty, save for rows of rusted bed frames and an old wheelchair in the corner. As they explored the ward, strange things began to happen. One of them swore they heard faint whispers, though the others laughed it off. Another noticed that the wheelchair seemed to have shifted slightly, facing a different direction each time they looked at it. Then they found the journals. Dozens of them, tucked under mattresses and hidden in drawers, each one belonging to a patient who had once been confined there. All the entries ended abruptly with the same chilling line. "She's coming!" A sudden crash echoed down the hallway. Their laughter stopped. One by one, their flashlights flickered and died, plunging the ward into darkness. Panicked, they huddled together, trying to find the exit. That's when they heard it, the unmistakable sound of a wheelchair creaking, slowly rolling toward them. "Who's there?" one of them shouted, the bravado replaced with terror. The whispers grew louder, turning into agonized wails. From the shadows, a figure emerged, a woman in a tattered hospital gown, her face obscured by matted hair. Her eyes glowed faintly, hollow and lifeless. The wheelchair screeched to a halt as she rose from it, pointing directly at them. "Leave," she rasped, her voice echoing unnaturally. "You don't belong here." They didn't need to be told twice. They sprinted for the exit, but the asylum seemed to twist and shift, the halls stretching endlessly. Behind them, the woman's footsteps grew louder, faster. Only one made it out. He was found wandering the woods the next morning, babbling about the lady in the chair. He refused to speak of what happened to the others, but his hair had turned completely white, and his hands wouldn't stop trembling. A week later, a local broke into the asylum to see what had terrified him so badly. In Ward 13, they found the wheelchair, now perfectly polished, as if waiting for its next occupant. The explorer's camera was lying on the floor beside it. The final image was of the group, their faces pale and frozen in terror, as the woman loomed over them from behind. No one dared enter the asylum again.